Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Moan.
Thank you for tuning in to the Healing Podcast. I am your host, Monique Owe. Dr. Moan is not here with me today. Thank you so much for your support, and please like, share, and subscribe. Today's topic is just be honest. That's simple. Just be honest. In the past, I've done topics regarding lies and liars and things like that and why people would lead to lying. But this episode is just about just be honest. And this can go for different ways. It could be you could be someone who lies a lot and who tries to keep up a facade, or who tells lies and the lies get away from you, and then now you're stuck. You have all this weight on you, and I'm telling you, just be honest. Or you could be a person who likes to hold back a lot of things. You don't like to say what you truly feel. You don't like to say your true thoughts. You don't like to say what you really like. And I'm saying just be honest, because the alternative is you're all built up inside. You have all these things that you have suppressed because you're not being honest with yourself and others. Other times is just be honest with people in your life. Some people need to be told how they are selfish, how they only think about themselves, how they are self-centered. Some people need to be told about the damage they do to others. Sometimes you just have to step up and do that. Just be honest, I do understand choosing the battle, because you have to understand who you're going to do that with. Because some people can take things and cause you more chaos and pain because they just don't understand your words. So the thing is, just be honest with yourself and know who those people are. The thing is, when you're not honest with yourself about how you feel, or about how you feel about someone else, even when a relationship is over, or when you have a problem in your relationship, think about how you feel by keeping it inside. When you know a relationship is over, for example, but you still are there, and you've done all the work, you've tried the therapy, you've tried the counseling, you've tried to work it out between you and your partner privately, you've gone to maybe your spiritual leader and try to get some counseling there, and it's just not working. Well, you need to be honest with yourself. Is the relationship over? Is the relationship causing more harm? It's not that I'm promoting divorce. Trust me, I don't like divorce, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, is the relationship causing you harm? If it's causing you health issues, if it's causing you a lack of peace, if it's causing you to be abused, whether that's emotionally or physically, it might be time to exit. That's being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself or being honest about things is not always easy. No one said it's easy, but it is best. Okay? The other thing is, you might need to be honest just with people in your life about, hey, I'm going through something. I don't want to participate in that event. I can't. Be honest. They may be upset with you for a little bit, but if they know you and they know the true person you are, they'll understand. If they don't, then that shows you something. Maybe there's a time for a pivot. Maybe it's time for that relationship to end, because you can't show up for them the way they want you to, because you might have something really heavy on you and you can't deal with it. Just be honest. The other thing, sometimes you may have people that you need to call out. You may need to tell somebody, like maybe you have somebody you care about and you know somebody's doing them harm. Now, when it comes to relationships, don't get involved in other people's relationships. That's between them. But you might need to tell that person that you care about, like, listen, something is wrong here. I'm not going to tell you what to do about your relationship, but something is not right. At least be honest with them about that. In other situations, you might not need to take a stance. And you might need to confront somebody for someone, because you might see another person in pain, and you might see the other person experiencing damage at the hands of someone else. And you might need to go ahead to that other person and tell them you are causing damage because they are doing something hurtful. And maybe the other person just does not have the energy to tell them. That's being honest too, is being honest about what you see is wrong and calling out what is right. That's honesty too. But let's keep it on to you. Why are you not being honest? Who are you worried about? Oftentimes in a therapy session, when you ask somebody, how come you didn't tell somebody how they feel? It's about everybody else and never about them. Because they're going to be upset. I don't want to put that on them. They're going to cry. They're going to be mad at me. They're going to curse me out. They're going to cut me off. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And then I'll stop and say, everything else you just said was about that person. What about you? Why are you not being honest? What about what you need? Not about what they need, what makes them comfortable. What do you need? Do you need to be honest? That's the whole point. Because see, the whole point is you might be suffering because you're not being honest. And it's okay if you want to make that decision to think about others more than you. I get it. It shows that you're a selfless person, but you can't be too selfless because the only thing you're doing is causing pain and harm. The whole point is just be honest and think about it. When it comes to a lie, when you're not honest, whether it's a lie by omission, which is just keeping things silent, or a lie by commission, where you're just telling the lie, think about how much it takes to keep that lie going. How much stress it is to maintain that lie versus just be honest and tell the whole truth. How much stress is that to remember the lie versus just, let me just say what's going on. Even if what is the true situation may make you look bad temporarily, but I think people can respect the fact that you finally told the truth. Okay? That's if you're experiencing a situation where you're not able to be truthful in the past when you haven't. But if it comes to something where it's just, maybe it's not a lie, just be honest about how you feel. If you don't like that kind of food, don't eat it. If you don't like where you work, change the job and tell them, I don't like the job, and move on. Respectfully. You don't have to be mad and go off. You can just say respectfully, I don't like it here. So I think the whole thing is be honest, because you're carrying too much weight on yourself by not being honest. Stop trying to accommodate everybody else and be honest. Be honest. Stop putting up this facade like you have so many things that you don't. Be honest about your situation. And here's the thing. No one really has to know about your situation unless you keep sharing it. I think what happens, back to social media, a lot of people compare their lives and they see these people put up different things, maybe their car, their house, their apartment. It looks so nice and it looks so clean. Again, that's a snippet. You don't know what's really true. But if that is you and you're making things look a certain way, like you're renting out Airbnbs and you're renting cars, luxury cars, just to make it look like you have this lifestyle, and you're putting up fake angles to make it look like you have a certain lifestyle, be honest, because you are spending a lot of energy and money to keep up that facade. And for what? For who? For people who probably don't really care about you. You're right. Most times when you do that, it's not for people you care about, so people who don't even know you. So again, be honest. It will do you a better service. It will help you a little more. It will make you smile. It'll make you feel less weight. Be honest, because you're doing damage. Ultimately, by you not being honest, you are doing damage. You may try to convince yourself that you're not, but you are, because you're not truly expressing what you feel. And trust me, internally, if they would do some type of study on you, right, like a sleep study, right, where they're monitoring your brain waves and things like that, or monitoring your heart rate, I guarantee those moments that you're thinking about how to lie, your heart rate has got to be increasing versus those moments when you just finally release. If we could see a visual of that, like in real time, we probably would make better decisions. But here we are. We live in a society where sometimes it's easier to lie than to tell the truth. But I'm saying, just be honest. It will help you. It will help your depression. Sometimes it can help that anxiety. It can even help that PTSD if you're just honest about what happened and just focus on just being honest and focusing on that, the honesty. Okay. Before I continue, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick segue here. Guessed it. Situation. Today's situation is just something I saw grabbed offline, and here it is. I am soon going to be married. The ceremony is next month, and I don't think I want to do it anymore. I don't know if it's the ceremony that I don't want, or I don't know if it's the marriage or the ceremony. I just think that recently something's happened, and it made me think, what is going on here? My significant other has children, and I do not. And recently we had a family situation where financially we had to dish out some money to help their side of the family. And it made me think, this is what I'm walking into. This is what it might be like going forward once we are one. And it's just making me think, what am I doing? I don't know if I'm mad about the ceremony, concerned about the ceremony itself, or if I'm concerned about the marriage. And now I'm just wondering, what should I do? Because it is really next month. It's right around the corner. I don't want to break my significant other's heart, and I don't want to make a stupid decision. Well, this is what I'll say. Now, even though this was online, I know many people probably are facing something like this where you're at a crossroads. I mean, anytime you're about to get married, that's a crossroads anyway. You're making a big step. You're now going to be going to a union with with a person, another person. You're going to become one. And that's a big transition. As happy of an occasion it is, it's a big step because you were single and now you're going to be joined to your significant other. Well, one, I'm always going to say it's better to be honest before the marriage than after and going through a divorce, right? But from what I gather from this post, it's just that the person may be concerned about finances, what they're going to face. So I don't know if it's that maybe the ceremony costed a lot too, and it was a big weight, and whatever happened, they said that they had to help out the other person's family, and it caused a significant, I guess it was financial issues. What I'll tell people, anyone out there that's getting ready to be married, first, congratulations. Very happy to see love in the air. But I'll say make sure whatever you're investing in a ceremony, make sure you're investing 3 times that, 5 times that in the marriage. The ceremony is beautiful. It's a wonderful event. It is something that should be taken seriously and cared for because it's going to be your everlasting memory. But remember, that's just one day. The true investment is the marriage. The true meaning is the marriage. That's what you want to invest in. Make sure you're investing more in the marriage than the ceremony. I think nowadays we live in such a time where between social media and as fast as the world moves, we want this grand thing, which is fine. Whether your budget is small or not, my whole thing is make sure you're investing in the marriage because that's what's going to matter. That's the person that's going to be with you when you're sick, when you're up, when you're happy, when you're down. That's the person who's going to encourage you. That's the person who's going to be there for you. That's the person you're going to have to be there for. That's the person you're going to have to encourage. That's the person you're going to have to take care of when they get sick. Well, I hope you do anyway, right? So my whole point is for this person or for anyone facing something like this, or even a transition, right? Maybe you're not getting married, but it's a major transition. Invest more in a relationship than one event. An event is an event. If you got the money, do your thing. If you want to make it big, do your thing. Trust me, I understand doing things big. I love big things too. But I'm saying make sure you're investing in a thing that's going to last. Make sure you're investing in hearing your partner and them hearing you and listening to you and vice versa versus just what you want. It can't only be about what you want. Make sure about what they want. Now, if it's something else, like if you really saw something and you're realizing this is not the life I think I want right now, maybe put a postponement on it. Before having to call things off, I always say maybe pause it for a moment. The only person going to be upset or is impacted are you and your significant other. Forget what other people think. It's about your relationship. That's all I'll say about that is never feel pressured to do something you're not ready to do, but invest in the union, okay? Or if it is a sign to call it quits, like I said, it's better to call quits before than after, but things happen. I hope that's been helpful to you. It's a real thing out there. No issue to give thought to things, and everybody gets nervous. It could just be pre-jitters, pre-wedding day jitters, right? Okay. If you would like to share your situation or you know of a situation you want to share, please email support@thehealingpodcast.com. Again, support@thehealingpodcast.com. Send an email there, and it will be kept anonymous and confidential. We'll just be sharing your situation. And before I get back into the topic, a word from our sponsor, Healing Expressions.
Are you someone who has been considering therapy? Perhaps someone else has told you that you need to talk to a therapist. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you want to discuss some challenges that you've been facing with your significant other. Maybe there's a communication issue, perhaps an incident of infidelity. Or maybe you just want to strengthen your relationship because you guys are thinking about taking another step. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety or depression, perhaps grief, life stressors, and you just want to share your thoughts with someone. Well, consider contacting Healing Expressions. Healing Expressions is a private practice located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. You will be given a session at an affordable price with a licensed therapist. If this resonates with you, consider going to healingexpressionsllc.com, reading about the practice, and hitting the contact tab to see if you can book a session. All right, thank you so much. And back to the Healing Podcast.
Okay, back into just be honest. Listen, you have whatever reason you have as to why you have not been honest up until this point. The whole point is from this point forward, be honest. Whatever that situation is that's weighing on you, whatever's tugging at you right now, go be honest about it. It'll help you even more. It'll help you. It will. It might even be something criminal that you did. Yes, at some point you're going to have to be honest because that thing it'll come back to bite you. Somehow it will. It might take a while, but it does. I would say be honest. You owe yourself that, and then you owe the other people you may have hurt that if it ended up where it hurt other people. Be honest. Stop thinking about what would happen afterwards. The first step is to be honest. Sometimes your honesty is that you don't know. Like me being honest might be, or you being honest might be, I don't know. That is my honest feeling. I don't know. I know I seem like I have all the answers, but I don't. I don't know what to do. There you were. You were honest. Okay? Sometimes being honest is saying, no, I don't want to answer the phone. Sometimes being honest is not answering the phone and not always being available. Being honest with yourself is, no, you cannot always show up. That is sometimes being honest. Being honest is telling that friend or that loved one, like, nope, I'm not coming this year to the big trip that we always do. I can't. That might be being honest. Okay, being honest with yourself might be go do something for yourself that you like. Being honest is choosing you. Okay, but be honest. The lies, the deceit, the hidden things, they come back to bite somehow. Even health-wise, whether it's physical health, whether it's mental health, it somehow starts to manifest when you're not honest. Be honest about the things that someone may have done to you that caused you damage. Share your story if you want with someone. If it's not a therapist, in confidence, then maybe a close friend, maybe a life coach. But be honest. I'm always going to encourage therapy, you know that. But be honest. It will help you. That thing that you've been thinking about, yes, I'm just saying, simply put, to be honest. Well, that is all that I have for today for you. I hope that this is helpful. And if not, I hope that it will help someone you know. And I'll leave you with this. Honesty is often very hard. The truth is often painful. But the freedom it can bring is worth the trying. Okay, again, that's honesty is often very hard. The truth is often painful. But the freedom it can bring is worth the trying. That is by Fred Rogers. Thank you so much for your support, for tuning into the Healing Podcast. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.